It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I picked up a beer in Home Bargains from Hawkshead Brewery, and this is their Helles Lager, a German-style pale lager coming in at 4.3% ABV in a 330ml can. Now, I'm a big fan of Hawkshead Brewery's beers. Been drinking them now for the best part of 11-12 years. Fantastic breweries up in the lakes. I'd love to go one day. Well, to the lakes, and then maybe go and visit the brewery. But yeah, let's crack this open. Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. It's a funny place, Home Bargains. Some of you would have seen my recent reviews of some of their own brand beers, which were not great, to say the least. But what I will say for Home Bargains is that every now and again you'll pop your head in one of their stores and they'll just have an array of beers. They had 2 different Shepherd Neame beers. They had a Shepherd Neame lager for 69p. Picked that up. It'll be on the review on the channel soon. I also picked up a Shepherd Neame Whitstable Bay Stout. That'll be on the channel soon. Hawkshead Helles Lager, and they were all in that kind of £1, £1.30 price range. Apart from the Shepherd Neame lager, which was 69p. So it's a funny place. You can pick up some really good beer for really cheap. It's a place that I would never discount. It would be a place where I would never kind of turn my nose up to and think, I don't need to go in there today, because it's a curious shop. You never quite know what's in it. I picked up beers in there before from Nigeria, Ghana. Beers that I've never heard of before. And I find that fascinating. I always have done. And the price point is pretty superb. So if you watch some of my recent Home Bargains beer reviews, then their own brand stuff isn't very good. But don't lose hope with them. Give them a chance, because some of the other kind of some of the other kind of brewery stuff they've got going on that is pretty decent. So saying that, on with the review then. 2 Finger White Head, hazy looking Helles Lager with good levels of carbonation rising up the middle of the glass. This is Helles Lager was my beer style of 2021. I really fell in love with the style. In fact, I could drink it pint after pint after pint until the cows come home. It was my style of 2021. This looks pretty decent. Let's get the aroma. Ooh, yeah. Slightly peppery, slightly spicy, lemony. Definite lemon aroma coming through. You get that kind of slightly biscuity, wafer-like biscuit flavour coming through, wafer flavour coming through. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Pale looking hazy lager. Just outrageously superb, this. Outrageously superb. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I gotta put this down. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows, what a beer. I can gauge this with good quality Helles Lager, because in 2021, I talk about finding Helles Lager. I was in Germany. I went to Germany. I went to Uberquell Brewery. I was drinking their Helles Lager straight out of the fermenter in their beer garden. Hot sunny day. It couldn't have been a better pint. I then drank other Helles Lagers throughout the second half of 2021. But it was just tremendous. It was a tremendous style of beer. So first of all, what is a Helles lager and how close is this to the style? Well, I've already done Stone the Crow, so it's very close to the. It is a fantastic quality Helles lager. A Helles lager is the best way I can describe it is, say Pilsner was over there, so a really bitter Pilsner was right over there. A Helles lager is just dialed back a bit. It's just over here a little bit. You're getting a little bit more of the sweetness from the malt. It's not as bitter, but you're still picking up perfect flavours from the beer, that spiciness from the hops, that wafer-like biscuit flavour, a slight lemoniness coming through. The beer, the carbonation on the beer is pushing the beer on the inside of the mouth, releasing more of that flavour. This is spot on. If you told me that this was brewed by a German brewery in a blind taste test, I would nod my head and go, absolutely, it sure is. This is brewed by a company in the UK, Hawkshead Brewery, up in the lakes there. And it ended up in Home Bargains, which leads me to this question. How on earth has such a good beer like this ended up reduced in Home Bargains? I don't know. I've had some other recent beers from Hawkshead Brewery in Home Bargains and they've been terrific. And I can only put it down to one thing. Like a lost in translation, like there's so much beer to choose from. Everybody wants to drink these kind of hazy New England IPAs these days, or these pastry stouts, or these modern sours, that they're forgetting that there's other terrific styles of beer out there. And that can be my only explanation as to why such a good beer like this has ended up in Home Bargains. But the other thing I'd like to say, and this is get yourself to Home Bargains, basically. If you can get yourself to Home Bargains and you see this Helles lager, clear the shelf. If you're a fan of German-style pills or a German-style lager, clear the shelf. This is top end quality lager. I am so surprised. So surprised that these beers have ended up in Home Bargains. And I'm fearing a little bit now. I'm starting to fear a little bit now because Home Bargains specialise in like bankrupt stock. I remember before the financial crisis of 2008 hit, I used to buy this really nice soup for me and my girlfriend, who's now my wife. And it was like in the shape of a bowl. It was a really posh soup. And we used to treat ourselves to these posh soups every Sunday. And it was quite expensive at the time for soup. It was kind of like premium end price. But with a nice baguette, it was tremendous. It was a fan, and it was enough to feed two. And then all of a sudden, this soup disappeared off the local supermarket shelves where I was buying it. And I went to Home Bargains like a week or two later, and all of these soups, literally, the company had gone bust, and they were all in Home Bargains for like 50p a can. Of course, bought loads of it. But the moral of this story is, and I really hope it's not true, and I really hope my fears are just fears, is that I hope to goodness gracious me that the Hawkshead Brewery have not done what that soup company have done. I mean, we've just been through a horrible pandemic, haven't we? And brewers have been struggling. I hope they're absolutely fine, and I just hope that I don't know. I just hope it was just a different reason that they ended up in Home Bargains, other than they've gone bust. And I'd like to know in the comments box. Actually, I'd love to know from Hawkshead Brewery as to why all of these beers have ended up in Home Bargains. Because for me, this is 9, 10 out of 10 quality beer. This really is. It's fabulous. Great lacing on the glass, great aroma, great taste. I could drink that all day long. A traditional German style lager, very crisp and clean with subtle floral and spicy aromas with a pleasant malt sweetness, very pale in colour and hopped with the classic German varieties Tecknang, Pearl and Hallertau, Hersbrucker. That is one of the best beers I've drank in 2022. That really is. That is superb quality beer. It's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!